Tonight, the first Senate hearing to confirm Amy Coney Barrett to the Supreme Court as she is sworn in. Why many politicians are concerned the move is too quick. And COVID-19 continues to spread nationwide as 13 new states set new record highs for infections, and the CDC blames young people. Good evening and welcome to WTOP 10 Nightly News. I'm Morgan Scott. The Senate held its first day of hearings for the confirmation of Judge Amy Coney Barrett to replace Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg on the Supreme Court. Multiple Democratic senators criticized Barrett's nomination as an attempt by Republicans to overturn various laws and legislation such as the Affordable Care Act. Senate Republicans defended the decision to move forward with the nomination as a constitutional duty. Barrett continued to defend the decision as she was sworn in, saying that courts are, quote, not designed to solve every problem right or wrong in our public life, but rather as a means to enforce.
Now, the bottom line is this. There have been 70 attempts to repeal the ACA, but clearly the effort to dismantle the law continues, and they are asking the Supreme Court to strike down the Affordable Care Act. This, I believe, will cause tremendous harm.
We'll now begin. I appreciate everyone's cooperation, and we will have a hearing, hopefully, that the country will learn more about Judge Barrett, learn more about the law, learn about the differences in judging and maybe the differences in the party. If that happens, it'll be a successful hearing. As to the hearing room, I doubt if there's any room in the country that's been given more attention and detail to make sure it's CDC compliant. The architect of the Capitol, working with the attending physician, has set up the room in a fashion that we can set.
2 rounds of questioning, which are expected to stretch into Wednesday.
Less than a month away, but the FBI is warning that cyber criminals, scammers, and foreign actors are possibly targeting voters. Mandy Gaither has the story.
Just when you think this election couldn't get more chaotic, the FBI and the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency are warning about spoofed URLs and email domains that could pose a risk to voters. Officials say scammers are using fraudulent websites and email addresses posing as legitimate election resources that could easily dupe victims into giving away their personal information or infect their computer with malware. To avoid becoming a victim, the FBI says to carefully check the spelling of web addresses, websites, and email addresses. Oftentimes, scammers use a .com instead of a .gov or misspell words. Seek out information from trustworthy sources. Make sure your computer and antivirus software are updated. Remove unneeded software apps. Use a strong 2-factor authentication. don't open emails or attachments from someone you don't know, and never give out any personal information via email. Many emails requesting that will appear to be legitimate. For Consumer Watch, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Election Day is approaching, and Vote Oswego wants the campus community to know important dates regarding voting. Early voting is taking place between October 24th through November 1st at varying locations and times. If someone wants to vote via absentee ballot, they need to request one by October 27th and have it postmarked November 3rd. Finally, the last day to vote Oswego wants you to know is November 3rd, which is Election Day if you are planning to vote in person.
Is doing surveillance testing for COVID-19. If students, faculty, and staff want to make an appointment for a COVID test, they need to go to tickets.oswego.edu to set up a testing time. The college seems to be focusing on testing students this upcoming week, with the faculty and staff being the school's focus next week. All testing is taking place in Lee Hall's gymnasium.
City Chancellor Jim Mallinckrodt has announced the Student Prepared program earlier today. The program will offer 10 grants of $10,000 for ideas and projects that will help stop the spread of COVID-19. This announcement comes after several SUNY schools have had to switch to online for 2 weeks after having COVID-19 outbreaks.
The doors to a new youth center next Saturday to promote socialization and responsibility. Fully operated by the Oswego YMCA, the center will allow for youth programming opportunities and will provide a safe, free, and healthy indoor space for children ages 8 to 19.
Iona College is moving to remote learning for the next 2 weeks after an outbreak of COVID-19 hit the campus. Authorities have stated that the outbreak has only affected students at the college and not the larger Rochelle area. Authorities have also begun conducting contact tracing with nearly all cases being linked to one event. But the city has yet to know which event caused the outbreak.
Has announced a new policy today that will ban any posts that contain misinformation about the Holocaust. Mark Zuckerberg, the CEO of Facebook, came under fire this past summer about posts on Facebook that spread misinformation about the Holocaust or deny its existence completely from Holocaust survivors themselves. Facebook, in a statement, said the new policy is in place due to the rise in anti-Semitism and the lack of knowledge that young people have regarding the Holocaust. Coming up, President Trump heads back out on the campaign trail.
And Microsoft uses a hacking stunt that could have caused problems with the election.
But first, let's take a quick look at the weather with Storm 10 meteorologist Brittany Spursano.
Hi, thanks guys. Currently we're looking at the satellite radar and we are watching the storm system that's producing moderate to heavy rain over Michigan. That is going to push through into our area in the overnight hours and can even affect our commute for tomorrow. But looking at the satellite imagery, we do see those increase of cloud coverage pushing through our area, and that is because of the storm system that is going to be here overnight. Coming up after the break in my full forecast, I'll time out for you how long this storm system is going to last and how it's going to impact your morning commute. Hello, welcome back to the break. I'm your Storm Team 10 meteorologist, Brittany Spursano. Looking at the current radar imagery, we are evaluating the storm system that is pushing through over Michigan and is currently producing moderate to heavy rain as we speak. But that is going to push through our area into the overnight hours and into tomorrow morning for our commute. And looking at the satellite imagery, we can see the cloud increasing that are coming through our area, and that is because of the storm system that we're getting today. And currently looking at the temperatures, we're in the mid to upper 50s, and that is what we've seen all day today. And especially along the Lake Ontario lakeshore, we are a little bit warmer than the rest of the city. So coming up for your future cast, we are going to see those spotty showers throughout our night, and they are going to increase as we push through the early morning hours and into early tomorrow morning as well. So if you do have to go anywhere for class or for work, I do recommend bringing an umbrella and a rain jacket as some showers are going to last. So how much rain are we going to get from this system? We're only going to get about 1/10 of an inch of rain. So for tonight, we are going to see those showers move through our area and have wind coming through the southeast at 20 miles per hour. And for tomorrow, the clouds are going to last through a good portion of our day, but around 3 p.m. we are going to be seeing the sun break through the clouds, and we're going to warm up to about 60 degrees. So we are going to see the storm system tomorrow, but that is going to push through, and we're going to have a nice Wednesday. And look at that, it's supposed to hit 70 degrees on Thursday. But we are going to see the chance of rain again for Friday, but that's going to push through, and we're going to have a nice Saturday with cooler temperatures. Coming up after the break, more news and sports. You're watching WTOP 10 Nightly News.
Hey, welcome to the WTOP 10 Nightly News. President Trump returns to the campaign trail for the first time since his COVID-19 diagnosis. He was cleared by the White House doctor as not contagious and is traveling to Florida to prepare to continue his election campaign. His confidence has some worried.
I'm going to be out in Florida tomorrow working very hard.
President Donald Trump speaking Sunday about his plan to return to the campaign trail Monday for the first time since his coronavirus diagnosis.
Because this is an election we have to win. This is the most important election of our lives.
The president claiming he's now entirely free of coronavirus after struggling with COVID-19.
I've been tested totally negative.
But that's not exactly what the president's doctors said. White House physician Sean Conley issued a statement saying Trump was, quote, no longer considered a transmission risk to others, but he didn't say the president tested negative. Trump also said he is now immune to the virus.
I beat this crazy, horrible China virus, and it also gives you immunity. I mean, it does give you immunity.
Trump doubling down on his claim of immunity on social media, writing, quote, a total and complete sign-off from White House doctors yesterday. That means I can't get it, immune, and can't give it. Very nice to know. There is no evidence people who have contracted COVID-19 are immune. Twitter added a warning label to the tweet saying it violated their rules about spreading misleading and possibly harmful information about the virus. I'm Reed Binion reporting.
And moments ago, WTOP 10 learned that President Trump tested negative after taking a rapid COVID-19 test.
19 cases continue to rise. The Center for Disease Control and Prevention is discovering a pattern. Nearly a month.
That is the way the universities are finding it. Regular testing. And if you wait till people have
test results increase among those under the age of 25. CDC researchers say understanding and tracking positive test rates by age group can help public officials identify future hotspots and better prepare for a rise in COVID cases.
That is the way the universities are finding it. Regular testing. And if you wait till people have symptoms, you've waited too long because there's so much asymptomatic spread before that.
Microsoft just stopped a major hacking that had impacted the presidential election. Microsoft said that they received a federal court order to disable the malware network TrickBot. Because another hack is possible. Even so, the company says its efforts will accept a new legal approach that will help authorities fight back in case.
Services planning to increase prices at the start of the new year. Their new proposal raises the price for first-class mail by 1.8% and all other categories by 1.5%. Some prices will remain unchanged, like the Forever stamp at 55 cents. The Postal Service Board of Governors believes these changes will keep them competitive while also providing the agency with revenue.
17th NBA title on Sunday night. The celebration in LA ended with 76 people being arrested and over 30 businesses and buildings being canceled. At one point, officers had to fire beanbag rounds at the club, celebrating fans to run away. Sports anchor Dylan McGlynn has the latest on the Lakers and more. Dylan?
Thanks, Chris. Certainly a historic win for the Lakers, considering the unorthodox nature of this season, and a historic win for LeBron James as well, continuing to build his legacy as one of the best basketball players ever. Coming up on the WTOP 10 Nightly News, we'll have a full recap of that Lakers Heat Game 6, and we'll also be discussing the New York Yankees, Syracuse football, and the New York Jets, as well as some news from both Oswego High School and Oswego State athletics. That's all coming up next on the WTOP 10 Nightly News. Welcome back to the WTOP 10 Nightly News. I'm Dylan McLean with your Monday night sports update. Fall sports have been suspended due to COVID, and with winter sports delayed, our reporter Grace Parenti sits down with SUNY Oswego coaching staff to hear how the closings are affecting the future of athletics.
Laker Hall, once lively and full of student athletes, is now empty and quiet. Due to COVID, fall sports have been suspended. Field hockey coach Heather Moore explains her biggest struggle.
I'm trying to make sure that they are staying connected with the program, with their teammates, because typically during this time of year, we're, always together like every single day. And so I think that's my biggest struggle, is trying to replicate that in a virtual environment.
Normally, field hockey recruits would visit the campus and get a sense of the team. This year, recruits are not allowed to step foot on campus.
Right now, you're utilizing the virtual tour that's through admissions, trying to figure out some other creative ways to show them the campus, because I think that that's the hardest part.
Coach Moore actively recruits at field hockey tournaments in Florida and Virginia. With COVID putting a hold on all tournaments, this impacts the future of sports.
I've seen most of the players for the incoming class play multiple times prior to all of these restrictions. I think we'll probably see the impacts more significantly as we start to move it back. So those graduating in 2022.
Fall sports like field hockey look forward to the future. Winter sports that take place here at Laker Hall stay hopeful that their seasons will begin soon.
If we are open as a school, I think we will have some type of season.
Seeing the positives, swimming and diving coach Holman shares what he has learned throughout the situation.
You don't know what you have until it's gone. And I think for some people, they've really realized what they miss. Not being able to do it is a little bit of a wake-up call.
A wake-up call that has Oswego State's coaches and athletes looking forward to next semester, hoping they can resume their seasons. Grace Parenti, WTOP 10.
SUNY Oswego plans to start hockey and basketball in February. The high school fall athletic season is officially underway with a new set of rules. Oswego High School has formally announced that spectators will not be permitted at any games this fall. Superintendent Dr. Mathis Calvin III said, quote, "Safety is our #1 goal," and was the driving force behind this decision. Fall sports barely came to fruition at all for the high school after the Board of Education approved their return by a 4-3 vote in September. Soccer, cross country, and tennis are among the sports cleared to return. Well, there may not be fans allowed, but the competitive spirit remains at Oswego High School as the boys soccer team split their first 2 games of the year last week. The Buccaneers opened the year with a 3-0 loss to Central Square on Tuesday, but rebounded by defeating Cortland 5-1 on Thursday. Tyler May and Marcus Baker each scored 2 goals for the Bucs, who also held a pregame ceremony for their 9 seniors before the opener on Tuesday. The team will be back in action at Liverpool on Wednesday. Despite the return of high school sports, a plan of action has not been as simple for SUNY Oswego and the rest of the SUNYAC. The league finally announced a return-to-play plan in recent weeks, only for the announcement to be removed from all web pages and social media accounts just days after it was originally revealed. The Oswego Athletic Department says the SUNYAC will reissue a release later in the week, and they were unable to tell us if there were any changes to the plan. Shifting over to baseball, the New York Yankees 2020 campaign has officially come to an end after a 2-1 loss to the Tampa Bay Rays in Game 5 of the American League Division Series on Friday night. Mike Brasso hit the go-ahead home run in the bottom of the 8th inning, and the Yankees managed just 3 hits in the season-ending loss. On the other side, the Rays advanced to face the Houston Astros in the American League Championship Series, with the winner earning a berth in the World Series. It was a rough afternoon for the Orange as the Syracuse football team dropped to 1-3 following a 38-24 loss to the Duke Blue Devils. Syracuse allowed 645 total yards in the game, with 363 of them coming on the ground. The Orange have allowed at least 450 yards in 3 of their first 4 games this season. However, the bad news doesn't stop there, as the team recently learned quarterback Tommy DeVito could miss the rest of the season with a leg injury. Speaking of quarterbacks, a QB change did not help the New York Jets on Sunday as they fell to the Arizona Cardinals by a score of 30-10. With Sam Darnold out due to a shoulder injury, veteran Joe Flacco got the start, but the Jets' offense was stagnant again, and they were held to 1 touchdown or less for the 4th time in 5 games this season. Kyler Murray and the Cardinals improved to 3-2, while the Jets fall to 0-5 in what has become a miserable 2020 season. While the NFL season was still getting underway on Sunday, the NBA was preparing to crown a champion. The NBA Finals, Miami Heat and the Los Angeles Lakers. LeBron James and company looking to close out the series. Early in the first quarter, LeBron was not messing around. A hard dunk there in transition. He continued to go hard to the rim throughout the first quarter, and the reverse finish there. Then early in the second, the hesitation and the backhand finish for LeBron. He finished the game with 28 points, but that wasn't all he did, as he finds Alex Caruso here for the backdoor feed and the finish. Then it was Caruso finding Kentavious Caldwell-Pope for 3. Then it was LeBron to Caldwell-Pope, another 3. Late in the third quarter, Lakers up by 30 points. Caruso back to LeBron for the jam and the foul. The signature moment of the game for LeBron James puts the Lakers up by 32. They hold on to win, and for the 17th time in NBA history, the Los Angeles Lakers are your NBA champions. And LeBron James continues to add to his monstrous legacy with his 4th career title.
Well, that's going to be it for 10 News. See you guys next week. See you guys next week for more WTFP 10 Nightly News. Have a good night.